Welcome, everybody. Hope everybody's having a great day. This is Kent Clothier here with REI Nation Facebook group. Thank you for joining us this afternoon. I'll introduce our guests in just a second. Again, I just want to say thank you for joining us. And if you don't mind, all of our group members, please like the call, share it, and love it if you don't mind. You know how to do it. We've done this many times. This is probably our 30th, maybe close to 40 live calls that we've done like this with our clients around the country. So today I want to welcome on Harris Lynn from California, and then Ashley Claunch, our wealth advisor, is joining us. It's been working with him for some time, and then we're going to go through a conversation and just welcome Harris today and talk about what he's done and how his portfolio is built and how long he's been a real estate investor. So again, Harris, welcome. It's a pleasure for our company to serve you. Thank you for trusting your properties with us. And tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell our listeners how you got started and a little bit about yourself.
Sure. So I'm a software engineer turned business owner. And it started like maybe about 20 years ago when I stumbled upon, most people, the Robert Kiyosaki's, Rich Dad Poor Dad and, the cash flow quadrant. So that's when it started. And I started researching, online, stumbled upon Bigger Pockets, and of course got connected with Chris there. That was about probably close to 12 years ago or so. Oh, wow. And, as time goes, I stumbled upon another, commercial property, and then started off with a friend of mine. So got lucky, we got to purchase a really small real estate property, commercial in the Silicon Valley area. So, and then, we just used that property for our office, stuff like that. And right around maybe 11 or so, that's when I started doing residential. I think that was just right about the downturn. And, I just bought a few here in California, Northern California, and then bought a few of those and then started renting them out. And I had to do my own property management for that. So it was tough. So yeah, so a few years later, I decided to, it's time to I guess exchange them because the prices went up. So I was exploring all the options out there, and then got reminded. Okay, I talked to Chris like years back, and then started talking again with him, and then I had him. He basically connected with one of your guys. And then that's where it started. And that's the time when I wanted to do an exchange, the first exchange that I wanted to do. So yeah, so it was a condo, and then exchange it to a few properties with you guys. Like that was like 2018, I believe. Yeah, so that's 3 years ago. Yeah. And then after that, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Oh, okay. So yeah, so after that, when I did an exchange, I also bought one at the same time. So, we went to 4 immediately. And then after a year, we decided to sell the property in Silicon Valley. That was like pre-COVID, right? So we got lucky, it got sold, within 6 months, and then that's when we decided to exchange again, right? So that one is a little bigger, so we exchanged it to about 7 properties, and after that, I bought another one last year when the COVID started. So that's where we are right now at 12.
So you bought your first property from REI in March of 2018.
Yeah, that's correct.
Was that working with Ashley?
I think, was it Alan?
Alan. He was working with Alan as well. So on the front end, and then we did, like Harris said, a couple of exchanges, 1031 exchanges.
1031 exchanges.
Right. And so he's done a couple of groups of them.
Well, I know our listeners want to hear why you've selected Oklahoma, Dallas, and Memphis, because they always like to hear what investors are thinking when they pull the trigger and buy a house in one of those markets there. What was your thinking on those 3 markets as you went down the road with Ashley on these?
Sure. So I didn't start off with Texas. I started off with Oklahoma and I believe Memphis, as well as I think the Mississippi area. I decided to do that because I wanted to eventually put all of them in a LLC structure. So I had to choose, like, I don't want to spread them too thin. So I want to make sure they're in groups. And I was looking at, okay, what are the potential, in the markets, right? So I don't know how, I forgot how I stumbled upon, ended up doing Oklahoma and Mississippi, but I went through like different, research process. Definitely, the jobs, the potential real estate appreciation, or at least the rent, ratio, stuff like that. So that's why I ended up with those. And then eventually I had a business partner with the commercial property. He wanted to do a little bit of Texas as a potential, appreciation play. So that's why we ended up with a few Texas properties.
And how are they, Harris? How are they performing for you so far?
Yeah, very good. As I mentioned, there's two, I guess, appreciation play or cash flow play. So I wanted to, when I did the exchange, I already went through the appreciation with all the other properties that I had, right? So I'm going with the cash flow play this time. So I wanted to make sure they're in good location and the cash flow will work for us, right? Will continue to work for a long time, right? So far, I just looked at it like I think last week or so. All of our properties are all rented out for, it's been 2 years or 3 years, the average of our properties, and they've been positive, more than what I had, when I had, the California properties, but because the cost here is a lot higher in terms of operating a property. So definitely the cash flow play is working out very well for us. So.
Harris, has each city, since you've been investing almost 3 years, have they met your expectations when you came in?
Yeah, actually more than my expectations. The appreciation went up quite a bit for my 2018 properties. Yeah, so those went up pretty good, and the rents have been consistently, like $25-50 increase, like whenever we have a renewal. So I've been pretty happy with that. So.
Well, we're working on the rents because all of our data is telling us that there's probably even more. Some markets are more than others, and in some markets we're seeing as much as 20% increase in rents in some parts of some cities, not all the cities. And we're seeing a little bit. Of course, we're not seeing that in Memphis. We're seeing 5 to 6%. We'll have the June numbers out hopefully by tomorrow or Friday to see how we're doing. But I'm glad to hear that they are exceeding your expectations.
Yeah.
Ashley, overall, how's Ashley doing on getting you properties and putting things in front of you and bringing you opportunities? How are we doing on that?
Yeah, it's very good. As I talked to Ashley, here's the kind of like the parameters, we're looking for, around this cities is okay, around this city. So it's been pretty consistent with that. So it wasn't, I think initially it was harder for me to like let go and understand your process, right? that it will work out. But now, that I'm I went through a dozen properties, it's kind of easier. I just need to look at, the property, maybe go on Google Maps, just look at it and then look at the schools, if it's good, and then we can go ahead and do that, right? So yeah, actually has been pretty good at that, and I'm pretty happy with that. So
she's been doing this for us for a long time. We have 2,700 investors today that own about 7,000 properties. About 400 of those 2,700 own 5 or more. Ashley's literally sold thousands of houses for us and has many satisfied clients, does a great job. Ashley, how has it been to work with Harris on getting what he needs and taking care of his portfolio?
Well, he's been great to work with. And Harris, when you talked about 20 years ago starting this, I can't believe you're old enough to have that much experience, but you look much younger. But he's been great to work with. Like he said, he definitely came in with some predetermined parameters that he, wanted to go after, and we definitely did. But I think he also saw that, there was a lot of experience and advice that we could add to it and help him be successful in building out his portfolio, with the inventory that we had coming through. So we're waiting for more. We're going to do another 1031 exchange here soon. So we're going to be adding some more here shortly as soon as they become available.
Well, Harris, sometimes it's hard to get new folks that come in to understand what we do. And we have processes. If we didn't have systems and processes, we couldn't do what we do. And we had, and so we're pretty tight about our processes. Our reputation, credibility, and integrity is the most important thing to us. And we've built that up over 17, 18 years now. And we just, we've got it down pretty good. We're probably going to do about 1,000 houses this year that we're going to purchase. We have several investors that are waiting for houses like yourself, and they're slowly coming out. We're putting out about 100 some odd a month, and some months more, some months less, but it's a steady flow of them. We have about 210 renovations going on today in many of our cities. Our rentals are doing really good. I'm going to ask you about our property management company in just a second, but today we have less than 50 houses available for rent. And so we just want to make your experience, or any investors that are thinking about coming with us on this call, it's real important that your experience is that we exceed all of your expectations, because that's what we want to do. And you're in California, however many hours away from us, and you go to bed at night, you shouldn't have to worry about the property. That's that's what we do. And we're on 24/7 taking care of your properties for you. And that's what you should expect, nothing less. So let me ask you about our customer service department, and tell me how, specifically, Carrie, how are we doing? And again, our mission there, our goal is to talk to you once a month, talk about how your houses are doing, answer any questions, be kind of like the concierge and the boots on the ground for you right here when you're in California. How are we doing in that area?
Yeah, very good. So I've been working with Carrie. I think after I become one of the WOW group members, I think, and then she's been pretty, I guess, definitely responsive in all my questions, and also very proactive, letting me know, okay, which property is up for renewal, maybe 3 months down, 4 months down, and which property is kind of like waiting for rent, which property has some kind of like renovations, or where it is in terms of renovation. So yeah, I mean, I didn't even need to reach out, and she'll just let me know, which I appreciate, because as most business owners are really busy, all day doing all the firefighting, so to speak. So yeah, I appreciate Carrie just proactively tells me, okay, this is where and this is where, things like that. So
well, she does a really good job. We have two people that handle most of our WOW customers, her and Cindy. They do a great job, and they're there to again, be your boots on the ground, take care of your properties, and answer any and all questions, and bring you the good news, and occasionally the bad news. We may have a moving out, we might have a maintenance call, but exactly. then we may have a rent increase for you, might have a renewal for you, and Ashley might call and have a bunch of properties for you. So what's your long-term strategy, Harris, in single family homes? What's your long-term strategy?
So yeah, so our long-term strategy is, I think when I started, I kind of, talked to my wife, okay, maybe, if we find a good property management, we can, go up to about maybe 20 properties. And then, if it will allow us to have more options to do the things we like to do, right? Instead of, being tied up with jobs, etc. Right? So I think, 20 was the initial number, and, I would just slowly work through that, like, year after year, we might add one, or we might do an exchange, So our long-term strategy is basically, maybe get to about 20, and then look at, is that a comfortable number to give us more options to do other things that we want to do, right? So yeah, so it just opens up options for us.
Harris, what advice would you give any new investor listening to the call today that maybe is kind of on the fence, not really understanding what's going on with this crazy price thing what's going on, and prices of lumber is going up, house prices are going up. Our average sale price on our houses by the end of the year is going to be $200,000 average in all the markets. Dallas is getting up there about 250, 270. We're just seeing the prices go up every month. What advice would you give to a new investor today that was kind of maybe on the fence?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's a good question. I would say that I think this lack of lumber, etc., is driving up the prices. So, but I think this is just temporary. So I think with real estate, the price will always go up at some point, because the population just keep on growing, right? So, and then the land is just fixed. So I feel like consistently, save enough, live below your means, and then start investing if you can, one at a time, and then over time, it will add up, right? So as you get more properties, it'll all add up, and then it'll be, if you're, I guess, if for a newbie, if they're too afraid of the prices right now, I think it's just gonna level out eventually, as the demand or the supply increases, it will level out a little bit. So so don't buy maybe 10 today, but maybe buy one, in 6 months, reevaluate. If you can, do another one, another 6 months, do another one, another 6 months or a year, do another one. So, yeah.
Harris, what other, I heard you mention Bigger Pockets. What other places like that do you use to go to learn about, communicate with, see what other people are doing, do some data search? Where else do you go to do some of your research on a site similar to that one?
Yeah, good question. I think mostly Bigger Pockets and a lot of YouTube, definitely. I'll stumble.
You say YouTube?
YouTube, yeah, YouTube. YouTube. There's a lot of people who talk about their experiences. Specific experiences is still good because it gives you an idea, how you can handle if ever a particular case comes up. So YouTube definitely, Bigger Pockets, and I did listen to a couple hundreds podcasts with Bigger Pockets, and and as you guys know, Chris has been on it several times. so yeah, that I think those are the main ones that I go to.
Have you been to an event of ours over the years? Have you been to any of our offices? Have you visited us yet?
Not yet. Not yet.
We have
hopefully
we have a lot of visitors coming in. I think we have 3 or 4 just next week. So we would certainly invite you and your partner, or your wife, or whoever to come down and visit us, either our Texas office or our Memphis office. Meet our team, meet Ashley, meet Carrie, meet everybody here, and really see what we do. So I want to ask you a question. And what can we do? We always, I know our team does pretty good. I know our property management, our customer service, our sales department, all of our admin people, I know they do a great job, but I'm always chasing the 2% that we can do better.
Mm-hmm.
What advice would you give us on the call today? And you're not going to hurt our feelings at all, okay? Because we're always looking for what we can do better to make your experience or the next investor's experience even better. What can we do today with you that you've been with us 3 years and 12 properties? What can we as a company do better?
Oh, that's a really hard question to answer, because I'm pretty happy right now with how things are going. Give me like 5 seconds to think about. Let me see.
I didn't tee that one up before we called. I didn't tell you about that one.
I know. Oh, I should have known. I've been watching a few of your videos, but I just didn't think about it, I guess.
That's okay. If you don't have the answer, that's fine.
Yeah, I don't have the answer right now.
But all the people on the call know that we got really good people, and they do a great job.
Yeah.
And for us to stay on course to what we do, to be the best at what matters the most, and that's one of the things that we try to push on every single day. And it's important that we know and recognize that we have to listen a lot, and we have to continue to get better, and that we still have a lot to learn, and we can get better. There's another 2%. Hopefully it's not more than that, the things that we can do better. So we're always chasing that. Ashley, what else today with Harris that we failed to talk about? And jump in here.
I think we covered most of it. Like I said, we're just now waiting to build out and continue building out his portfolio. So we're on that and on top of that. And Harris as always, great to work with. And so we're excited to keep going, keep moving forward.
Harris, any questions or anything that we could answer?
Not at the moment. I guess for the new viewers, I did my property management myself for about 10 years for 3 properties. So if you find a good property management like REI Nation, you should jump on it. so to
Well,
speak.
we spent a lot of time working on the property management because it's the thing that matters the most. Renting houses is the most important job at our company. We have a tremendous team in there in Memphis and Texas on our property management side that manage and rent our houses. Our Texas operation has probably 20 people down there now that work, led by Ryan and Missy, and then Nate and Nick lead our Memphis premier team. And again, we got really, really good people that do that. So let me ask you the final question. Did Ashley or Carrie talk to you about our Grind newsletter?
Yes.
Oh, they did, huh? Okay. I'm just checking to see if they did.
I can't take the credit. It must have been Gary.
So you signed up for our Grind newsletter. What do you think about it so far?
Actually, I haven't. I got a few of them, but I haven't went into all the details yet. But I've seen a few of them. I think it was just yesterday when we were talking about it again, the Grind. Yeah. So
we're hoping that we're bringing some new, deeper level insight into our business and the real estate industry as a whole. And then it's primarily for investors and entrepreneurs and business owners. And so we hope to continue to expand on that. Chris is doing a podcast every or twice a month. I think I'm doing once a week. Chris is doing a podcast. I'm doing a letter twice a month, every other Sunday night. And hopefully you liked it and maybe share it with us. We just started a contest on there yesterday about people sharing it and helping us grow the Grind. So, but again, on behalf of our team and the company and our family, we just want to say thank you for trusting us with your properties. And it's always a pleasure to serve you and all of our other clients that we have. We thank the people that are on here listening to it. Please share it with other people and like it, please. And Harris, again, we welcome you to Memphis anytime. It's our pleasure to serve you as an investor, and hopefully we live up to the expectations. And I just invite you to come see us, and thank you for spending a few minutes with us this afternoon.
No, thank you too. You're welcome, and thank you too.
All right. Have a great day, sir. Nice to meet you.